first do, I would say, is to brainstorm and really write out key factors of your life that you think would be really important to mention. These are where interesting stories come from and how an admissions student can really get to know you. The first don't, I would say, generally do not start with a quote from like a famous person or a book or something. That is just, it's done. So many people have done that. It's very 2006. So don't start there. Topic-wise, I'm not exactly sure that any topics are off limit, but there is a way to write about certain topics. For example, if you write about maybe something traumatic that happened to you, there is a way to write that is more in a positive light. You don't want to speak negatively about you, your experiences, or your character. So any challenge that maybe you face, make it positive. Show them how you overcame something. And I think that's really positivity spin is where you want to stay when it comes to admissions essays. Depending on the supplemental essays, some schools will ask you to write about the major, and this will give them an idea of that you've actually thought about the career path that you want to take and what you want to do within it. That is the purpose of that supplemental essay. When it comes to why, like the specific college, they might ask you for one of those essays. They want to know that you've actually done research on their institution and you can speak to how you will personally affect the student body and make a place and a home there. So supplemental essays give that. It's just a supplement. They give context to how you would fit into their institution. Personal statement, I see that more as your personal story. It gives context to who you are and your character, where supplemental essays are more focused around the synergies between you and the institution. So when it comes to supplementals, you are no longer selling yourself, so to speak. You are placing yourself within the institution like you're already there. So what will you do there? And that's different from personal essays, which is completely focused around you. It doesn't have to be focused on your major. It doesn't have to be focused on any institution. It's just you. When reading a student's essay, a college admissions reader might be looking for interesting bits about your life that will give context to the rest of your application. For example, if you did have low grades one year, that might be something they're looking for in your application, whether in the personal essay or the additional information that comes right after. Additionally, they're wanting to get to know you and just really understanding fit in terms of your career goals. Have you explained that adequately? How does it fit with your academic transcript? And really how you would fit into the institution as a whole. Every school has a different personality, and the students they look for kind of match it. I would say this is accurate for my time at NYU. The students were all very quirky, and the people they accept generally fit along those lines. Depending on where a student is in their college admissions process, I might start with a brainstorming activity. Might have to do 1 or 2 meetings on those, depending on how much the student is able to share at the time. And this really helps us understand the student's background, get to know them personally, and find out those little stories that might seem insignificant at the time, but really is the meat of an essay. Once we find out what the topic is while working together, we will then work to make the first draft, and I go and kind of comment each section, like, I want to learn more here, this is not needed, expand on this, what do you mean by this? Once we get that really extended aspect, and it could be a very long essay, 1,000 words, that's when we really start to cut and edit every piece. And I like to go in and revamp the essay at the end and structure it around differently, just move sentences to the beginning, move them to the back, edit the grammar, and really make the essay pop. This past year, I worked with a student who was kind of unsure about schools, so we came up with a college list. They had really good academics, but their intended major did not align with everything else that they told me. So I introduced them to new majors that they didn't even know were majors, and that actually fascinated them, which was really exciting. So we chose a major, and from there, I told them, like, this major kind of aligns perfectly with everything you've done. Why don't we write about it? So we did a little brainstorming session, and they ended up writing an entire essay about the tea time they have with their family every day and what that means to them. And they were able to incorporate philosophy, which is they're really passionate about, and a little bit of religion, and mix that all together. And it was really, really powerful essay. I really enjoyed reading it. We sent it off, and they got admitted to Carnegie Mellon, early decision 1.